Baby Caterpillar was tired. All summer long she had been traveling slowly through the green world where she lived, and feeding on the green leaves that grew near her home. Now autumn had come and Mother Nature had given a holiday to the leaves, who put on their new dress of red and gold and played tag with the breezes. Baby Caterpillar wanted to play too, but could not run so fast as the happy little leaves, and she grew very tired and thought she would take a nap. So she found a cozy place among the branches of a grapevine and made herself a soft sleepy blanket. Then she rolled herself away within it, and then in her queer little cradle went to sleep. One night late in the fall, Jack Frost came over the hill. He spied the cradle swinging to and fro, and began to play rudely with it, for he is a roguish little fellow, and touched everything that come in his way. But the warm blanket hid the little sleepers so that Jack could not find her. By and by, King Winter came bringing beautiful snow blankets to Mother Nature, Flower's baby. He gently rocked the cradle as he passed and whispered, "Sleep, baby, sleep. You have no need of my blanket." At last, spring came with the sunbeams, the best and merriest of Mother Nature helpers. They awoke the flowers from their long winter nap, and called to the birds and the brooks to begin their song. When they came to the little brown cradle, they stopped to rest, and baby Caterpillar began to get very warm under the thin blanket. She woke up and stretched herself, and her cradle broke, and she came out to greet the spring. But what a change! Instead of the old dingy dress that she went to sleep in, she now had a beautiful yellow one, and instead of crawling among the leaves, she flew up and away into the sweet spring air to play with the sunbeams and flower, and the little children call her a butterfly. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would as much as he could and chuck as much wood. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would as much as he could and chuck as much wood. Can a cannot can into an uncannot can, like a can a cannot can into an uncannot can. Can a cannot can into an cannot can, like a can a cannot can into uncannot can. Can a cannot can into uncannot can, like a can a cannot can into uncannot can. Silly Sally swiftly showed seven silly sheep. The seven silly Sally silly Sally thought this sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. Silly Sally swiftly showed seven silly sheep. The seven silly sheep. Silly Sally showed silly Sally showed the sheep shouldn't sleep in a sack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. Silly Sally swiftly showed seven silly sheep. The seven silly sheep. Silly Sally showed silly Sally showed the sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be of my dad, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be of my dad, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in a proper copper coffee pot. I may be of my dad, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Amidst the midst and coldest frost, with stoutest reeds and loudest words, he thrust his fist against the post and still insists he sees the ghost. Amidst the midst and coldest frost, with stoutest reeds and loudest words, he thrust his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost. Amidst the midst and coldest frost, with stoutest reeds and loudest words, he thrusts his fist against the post, and still insists he sees the ghost.